Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lisa. This is my crochet channel where I share all my crochet makes with you. I make things for a consignment space, things for markets and things for my own enjoyment. Today we're going to get into part 2 of my August challenge. Okay, the power just went off, so if you notice a bit of a shift in the lighting, it's because I have no power at the moment, so we'll see how we go. I don't want to stop filming because I want to get this done, so I apologize if the lighting is all a bit mix-matched. Hopefully it'll come back on and I can put my light back on, but I don't think it's too bad. So I just wanted to go over what the challenge was in August. I know some of you may have watched part 1 of this challenge where I discussed days 1 to 16 and the patterns I made. But if you're new, you might not have seen the other one. And so I will share with you a little bit about the challenge. So over on Instagram, I saw a challenge by a creator called A Novelly Hooked. I'll put her info up there because she might have future challenges. So you may want to participate in them. She's an Australian creator, so there were a few Australians participating in that. But it was open to everybody. People all over the world were participating in it, but especially a lot of us Australians. So that's nice. So the challenge was called A Novel Little Challenge, and it was in preparation for Australia's market season. So we're coming into spring, and as you know, we have a lot more outdoor markets and things as the weather improves. So it was in preparation for that busy period if you are a market person, but also it was for anybody. You didn't have to be doing a market to participate, but that was what the initial idea of it was. So for every day there was a prompt, and that would give you an idea of what you could make for that day. Did I say that we were making a different thing every day? There was every day we're making something new, and each day there's a prompt. And as well as there being a prompt, she also connected a whole heap of free patterns that you could also use if you wanted to, if you're getting stuck on ideas. So the only guidelines around it were that you use the prompt as a springboard for what you made, and you could use a paid pattern, free pattern. You could just freehand something if you wanted. You could bust some things from your stash if you wanted. You could make a small item, a big item, whatever you like. Some people were using the prompts, so for that day they would make multiples of that item to help them get stocked up. Occasionally, if I had time, I would make multiple, but generally I just tried the patterns out for myself. So for this challenge, I tried to use as many free patterns as I could because I have a lot saved on Instagram, and I have a lot that I've wanted to try but haven't got around to. Some of them are free tutorials on YouTube. And I also did buy a couple of patterns during this month-long challenge, and I also did stash bust a little bit of older patterns that I already had. So yeah, that's basically what the challenge entailed, was market prepping and making something new each day. Some people made things ahead of time, so they weren't like always having to make something new each day, which was very smart. I didn't, but as the challenge got going, I did take the opportunity to sometimes make things ahead of time because we had the prompts ahead of time. So if I knew I was going to be busy for the next couple of days, I might make a few items for those couple of days ahead of time. But generally, I was making something most days. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all the patterns I made from day 17 to day 31. So let's get into it. So the prompt for day 17 was cool as can be, and I knew straight away what I wanted to make for this. I'd actually saved a pattern way back. I had to go through that saved folder and dig really deep because this is an older one that I had saved for quite some time. And had never gotten around to making, but I thought it was really cute. So do you want to see? So if you're wondering what is that blob, it's a little raindrop. It's got little feet on the bottom, and it's a free pattern on Instagram. It's by Magical Knots. And I don't know why this one just came to mind for me. I think it's really cute. I've always wanted to do it. I say, because it rains a lot where I am, that this is the perfect little mascot for where I'm living at the moment. It was a quick make. The pattern was easy to follow. I don't know how it would go as a market. You could easily make it as a market make because it is quite quick. I'm just not sure how popular a little raindrop would be. But it's very cute. I highly recommend. I will link all the pattern info in the description, so you'll be able to find it there if you're interested in making it. Yeah, basically nothing bad about this pattern. It's super cute and yeah, a quick make, so recommend. So day 18's prompt was whale hello there. And that is a prompt, of course, to make a whale. And I decided to try the little baby whale pattern from All From Jade. Look, it's so tiny. I don't know how to show this one off in the best possible angles. That's probably better. This is so super quick. A lot of her it's a free pattern too on her Instagram. She has quite a few free patterns that are worth checking out. They're super quick, usually great market makes. Yeah, and this whips up super quick. It's great for using up scrap yarn because you only need like a small amount of yarn, and then you can add a different color down the bottom. So perfect for those just like tiny bits you have left over at the end of skein and you don't know what to make with them. These are perfect for it. I made a ton of them. So I think I'm set for these guys for the market, which is great. Like, I know I've got enough of these to start with. I don't have to focus on making those again. I could make some other things in my next lot of market prepping. So that was fun to get one lot of items completely done. There aren't any issues with it. It's all no-sew. Yeah, great pattern. Give it a go if you haven't. I think as well you could make it in blanket yarn and make them a little bit bigger if you wanted to. And then that would actually be a great way to charge a little bit more money, but you're still kind of making it in roughly the same amount of time. So yeah, could be a good little money maker to have them a bit bigger and charge a little bit more, but also doesn't take much longer than these ones. So yeah, might be worth trying. But I love them in this. I use the Patty's plush yarn on these, and they're super cute and small, and I love that. And yeah, I can't remember how long they took, but like I've got a feeling it was roughly 15 minutes. So yeah, you can get quite a few of these made up super quick. So the prompt for day 19 is berry sweet. And I guess that could be a lot of things. It could be something berry related. It could be something red if you wanted to. I decided to make something with berries on it. So I made this cute free pattern, which is like a little strawberry tart. It's quite cute. So the pattern is by an Instagram creator called August Crochet. I don't know if I've pronounced that properly. Obviously I'll put her name up there somewhere. It's a really good pattern, but there were a few little mistakes in it. So for the strawberries, there's a mistake in the pattern. I can't remember what it was, but I actually had to I think it's in one of the just one row is off. So you do have to watch out for that. My strawberries, they still look okay, but each one is a little bit different. I think for the third one, I finally worked out what the mistake was and fixed it. But it's not a big deal. If you're an experienced crocheter, you'll probably be able to fix that up pretty easily. If you're a beginner, be aware that there is one row that's off and you may have to adjust that. The other problem that I had was, as you can see, I've got a big dimple in the bottom because this bit was quite coning for me. Yeah, it wasn't laying flat, and so I did put, when I weaved it all in, I did actually pull the bottom up so that it would sit flat for me, which it does now. The cream on it is like a big long strip and you have to kind of like sew it all on. So it has a lot of sewing involved in it, but I still really like it. And I would make it again. I think this would be cute in a whole little section of a market with like a whole heap of like cupcakes and cookies and things like that. It does take a little bit longer to make though. So yeah, it's not super complicated. It's just doing all the decorations on it. The actual pie part is quite simple. I'm not sure if that coning thing is to do with my tension or the yarn I was using. So yeah, just watch for that. It is an easy fix. Like I just pulled mine up, but you could also cut out a cardboard round or something and put it in the bottom to help it sit a bit flatter and a little bit firmer on the bottom, which I might look at doing if I make it again. So yeah, super cute. So day 20's prompt was, you will be my squishy. So some people for that made like jellyfish, squishy kind of, I don't know if it was squids or there's some prompt in it. It's from a movie, but I didn't get that reference. But I thought of clouds being squishy, and I had this free pattern saved for quite some time. It's called the Amuseable Cloud, and it's very much Jellycat inspired. It's a free pattern by Perfect Crochet, and I didn't have any issues with it, but I did make a mistake on it when I was making this little section. I actually think I missed a few rows, and it's actually meant to be like a little bit longer on this side, but you can't tell. And so I made this one, I think it's out of my Zaddy Craft and Patty's Plush together. I think the legs are Patty's Plush, and I think I made this out of Zaddy Craft yarn. And I like it, but then I also thought, wouldn't it be great in the blanket yarn? So I did make it up as in the blanket yarn. So that's the Moda Vera blanket yarn from Spotlight, and I made it some little rosy cheeks. This is just some Zaddy Craft for the legs, because I thought that would be easier than trying to make legs in the blanket yarn. Yeah, it's a great little pattern. I don't know how these will go. Sorry, the power just came back on. I don't know how these will go at markets. I think they could be a great little market make. I'm going to send these to my consignment space and see how they go there. Yeah, so that's my first time trying this pattern, and yeah, I'll see how it goes. So I think that also these legs are sewn on at the end, so there is a tiny little bit of sewing involved in this. So if you don't like sewing, you may be able to kind of do a vertical crochet if you know how to do that. But yeah, I just sewed mine on at the end because that's easier. But yeah, highly recommend this pattern. So day 21 was a free choice slot, so you could make whatever you wanted here. I was doing a pattern test at the time, so I used this slot to make my pattern test. So the pattern test I'm really excited to tell you about. It has now been released. So this isn't a free pattern, this is a paid pattern, but it was free to me because I was pattern testing. But if you want it, it is a paid pattern. The creator's name is Pearly Stitch, and she's a New Zealand creator, and I think she has her own website. I don't think this is available on Etsy, so I do think you need to go to her website to purchase it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's on her website. So it's for fruit octopi, and there's 7 little fruit octopuses to show you. So the first one is the raspberry. Super cute. Now I used all of Patty's plush for these. A grape. And look, he's got a little grape stuck to him. How cute. A strawberry. Now I tacked all the leaves down for the strawberry, but he probably would have looked better if I'd left the leaves kind of up like I did for the raspberry, but he's still cute. And a blueberry. Now I embroidered eyes on this one because when I was making this one and doing the top, I actually got a knot when I was doing the frill part, and it looks a bit funny. I knew straight away that I wouldn't be able to sell that with a knot on the outside like that. I was like already on a part of the pattern before I realized, and I didn't want to frog all the way back, so I just kept going and decided that I would keep this one and remake this one for the market. So I do have to remake this one. That's why I didn't put eyes in it. I just embroidered, but I do like these little kawaii, is that how you say it, type eyes, embroidering them like that. So still super cute little blueberry, but yeah, that's why this one's just a little bit different with the eyes and things, is because of that yarn and where that knot was. I didn't really have enough warning, and yeah, I wasn't frogging, so yeah, I just kept going. In hindsight, I probably should have just frogged it back, but I was only on this top part. They're made from the top down, so I was like, if I frogged it back, I would have just had to start all over again, so I just kept going. Anyway, that's the blueberry. And then we have the watermelon. I love the striping on this. It is very cool. And then we have a little orange. I love how the legs are in this Patty's plush, like they're so curly. And the last one is the little lemon. And she's even kind of made that kind of lemon shape where it goes up a little bit on top, whereas the strawberry, the orange is a little bit rounder on top. So it's very cute. I really like this. I'm not sure how they'll go. Like, octopuses really usually do really well for me. So I'm interested to see how the like little fruit octopuses go. They work up under an hour each one, so that's very handy. Yeah, just something different. So we'll see how they go when I take them to market. But I would recommend them as a market mate. They're super quick and a little bit different from the normal octopuses. So could be a good like point of interest. They're very colourful and draw people's eyes. So yeah. So day 22, the prompt is, they are ninjas too. And a lot of people were making Ninja Turtles for this, and I'm not really a massive Ninja Turtle fan, and the Ninja Turtles were quite big makes, and I really didn't want to make them, and I couldn't really find anything to fit as a smaller make. So I just kind of crossed the ninjas out and made it they are Jedis too. And made a little tiny Grogu, which is a free pattern on Instagram. I did make a few little changes to this though. I did make, so it was supposed to have a single crochet for the collar, and I decided to make that into a half double crochet because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. So because I increased that length, I did need to add another row of stitches underneath before I did the arms. Otherwise the arms would have been sitting up too high. And I think I didn't do as many decreases at the bottom because I didn't want it to have a kind of concave shape. I wanted it to be more round, if that makes sense. So I did make a few little changes to this, although you don't need to. The pattern that as it is perfectly fine and lovely. I just had some preferences that I wanted to change it. The ears are actually crocheted on, which is, if you haven't come across that technique before, could be tricky for you if you're a beginner, because they sit vertically, but you're crocheting a little bit in as each round goes around. I have done that technique before, so I found it okay. If it's not something that you are able to do, you could also just sew the ears on as well. But yeah, it turns out super, super cute and is a quick make. And if you do it, like, you can just do it as a no-sew pattern, but you could do that also by sewing on if it's tricky for you. But yeah, it's a no-sew pattern. I haven't made these before in any form, but I feel like there could be a popular make, so I will be making more of these for my markets coming up. Yeah, and that's in the Patty's Plush yarn as well. So I've used that quite a bit in this part, I think. Oh, I haven't said who the creator is. Just hold on. So the creator is Foofy's Crochet. The prompt for day 23 was red means go. And so you could make anything red on this day. I decided to do a YouTube tutorial on making a little tulip. And I feel like this came out looking great, but I kind of am not really super happy with it. I don't think I'll make it again. Yeah, I don't know. So the tutorial is easy to follow. I'm pretty positive, like my memory's a bit rusty now, but I'm pretty sure you sew the green part onto the red part. And then there's also sewing to get the top closed off and to create that little bit of shape on it. I think the creator of it was making it out of a like cotton or acrylic yarn, and I've used a plush yarn, so mine is a little bit bigger than hers was. It could be really cute as a like key ring or something. This one's probably getting on the bigger side, but yeah, it's not something I'm going to keep making, but yeah, it's cute. Maybe, you know, maybe someone else might like it for their markets. But yeah, it's not something I'm going to keep making. But you don't win them all, do you? The creator of this tutorial, I may murder her name, sorry if I do, is Gail Cabriera. I don't know if I said that right, but I'll link it and put it up there and stuff for you all. But yeah, it's a fun, quick little make. So it might be, if you're bored one day, maybe you might want to give it a go. There are a lot of tulip tutorials on YouTube though. So I picked this one because it was nice and small and quick to whip up. And that's what appealed to me about it. And yeah, it didn't disappoint in those senses. I'm just, yeah, not overly fussed about it. So day 24, the prompt was pop, press and repeat. And for this one, I had decided to purchase a pattern. It's from Cable and Canvas, and it's this little fidget flower. It's a great little pattern. I wanted to make it because I thought the flowers were really cute. So she has a lot of free patterns on her Instagram. She has a cute little lemon one, and on her YouTube channel she has a little mushroom, and I think she might even have a Christmas tree over there. So there's definitely there's definitely a lot of options from her on free fidgets as well. So I've got 2 of these made up during the challenge, so I'm going to make a couple of more. They're very quick. They use a tiny little bit of stuffing, and the tops don't have any stuffing in them, so that's good, you know, saving a little bit of money there. So they're a no-sew pattern as well, and yeah, work up super quick. So I will be making some more of them. I think I will make a couple more of these and a couple more of the free patterns. So maybe some of the mushrooms and maybe the Christmas trees, if I'm remembering correctly, on them being on her YouTube as well. So yeah, I will definitely be featuring these in my markets. I love that you can have something for kids that's a silent fidget, something that they can play with and it's not going to draw attention. And yeah, using the Patty's plush again, and they're lovely and soft, so some children just love to have something soft in their hands and be rubbing it as well. So yeah, definitely a cute little option. They work up quick, so I feel like the pricing for these will be quite good. I do need to like time myself making them, so we'll see how they go, but they definitely would probably maybe a half an hour at the most, I would say. So highly recommend. So day 25's prompt was Waddle Crew, and I decided to make this free pattern by Aki Plushies, and it's these little chicks in frog hats. So that's a free pattern on Instagram. It's no sew, it works up super quick, and I think it's incredibly cute. I'm definitely going to be making more of these for the markets. I think they're a great little eye-catching but also quick and small make that you can keep the price down on things. So I definitely think this is worth making, and it's a great little free pattern as well. So yeah, highly recommend this one. I used the Zaddy Craft yarns in these too. So they came out a good size in the Zaddy Craft yarns. Very cute. So day 26 prompt was Too Cute to Spook. So there's a lot of patterns out there coming up into Halloween, a lot of free patterns. I was a little bit tired by this point. I decided to do a little bit of freehanding and a little bit of adapting a pattern. So I actually used the pattern from Aki Plushies, so this pattern, and I made a little ghost chick. I think I did change the little side arms for this one as well. And I made it in Patty's plush yarn, so you can see it's a lot smaller in the Patty's plush, so still cute, but a little bit smaller. So that was my day 26 make. If I was doing Halloween markets, I definitely would make up some little chicks with Halloween hats. I think that would be great. Halloween is a little bit still growing in Australia. Some people get really into it, but it hasn't traditionally been a holiday that we celebrate here, which is a bit sad because I think it's fantastic, and I'm so excited when I move the town that I'm moving to. They do get into Halloween a lot more over there and have go trick-or-treating, so I'm really excited to have people come to my house and trick-or-treat. So it may be that I do more next year around Halloween, But at the moment, I'm playing it quite safe. I'm not putting any Halloween stuff in my consignment space. And obviously my market's not till November. So that one's just for fun for me. And I think it's kind of cute. I did find some Halloween patterns for you though, if you're a bit disappointed that that's just a little freehand. If you want a Halloween pattern for free, I will let you know. So Cluck and Buzz just released a pattern. She's a YouTube creator, but this is a free pattern on her Instagram, and it's for a little frog in a witch cap. And if you're after a free pattern under that prompt, you could make that guy. So you've still got a pattern to seek out if you like. Or you could just get the Aki plushies one and adapt it like I did. So the prompt for day 27 was big deal energy. So this was a prompt to make a pickle or something like a pickle. I decided I would use this opportunity to make the green crayon because I feel like he has big deal energy. Like, you know, he's got the pickle vibe happening. Now this pattern I made in my last roundup, and I do want to make them in every color, so that's why I took this opportunity during this challenge to make another one. And you know, I loved it last time. I still am loving it. Now, in my first video, I showed that I actually put the eyes in too close to the color changes. Not a problem this time. I was much more on board and looking out to make sure I had those eyes placed better. So this pattern, I will share the maker of that again, just a moment. So this was by Sowing the Seeds of Love, and it's a free pattern on Instagram. But if you're playing along and you would like some deal patterns, I did also get a couple of deal patterns for you. So Joanna Garumi has this pattern, and it's the Chill Pickle. And All From Jade has this one, which is the Squishy Pickle Party. So there are lots and lots of pickle patterns out there. I don't know how popular pickles are in Australia. I feel like this is much more of an American trend. I'm not sure. Let me know if you have Australian markets and if pickles sell well for you, because maybe I'm sleeping on this pickle thing. Maybe I should have made pickles. I don't know. Let me know. And obviously I recommend this pattern. I've made it twice in this challenge. So yeah, definite recommend for this pattern by Seeds of Love. So the prompt for day 28 was Hoppy Little Guy. So it could be something that hops. So, you know, frogs, maybe a bunny. I went for a frog because we do have another bunny prompt coming up later. And for this one, after all these days of following patterns, I was still in that mode to create something. So I actually created my own pattern for this. So I will show you guys. I'm going to test it and release it as a free pattern on my Instagram, and I am going to maybe one day make a tutorial on YouTube for it. It's a very simple, easy little pattern. I know there's a ton of frog patterns out there, so you're probably like, why, we don't need another frog pattern, but you know what, this is my frog pattern and I'm proud of it. So I'll show you. This is it in blanket yarn. So he has kind of like a little bumpy legs at the side. And I call him the little happy frog. This is it in the Zaddy Craft yarn. So he has like a little flat foot there coming off the side. And then I also made it in the Patty's Plush. So they work up really quickly as well. Yeah, so I would obviously recommend this because it's my pattern, and keep an eye out on my Instagram if you would like to help me test this. I will be doing that soon, maybe in October. So if anybody would like to help, yeah, head over to Instagram and keep an eye out. So I've basically written the pattern up and taken some photos of the steps and stuff. I just need to double check all the stitches before I put it out. Yeah, I feel like I might need to adjust some of the stitches across the back and stuff. So that's the only thing. I'm just gonna need to free up some time to double check all the stitches before I look for testers on it. So anyway, that was day 28. So day 29, the prompt was feed me. And again, I was just in the mode for being a little bit creative. So I made a big cupcake. I just freehanded this. I didn't write down any pattern for this. I just made it. Its proportions probably aren't the best. So, but it was fun, and I enjoyed getting to just do something creative in that whole process. So, and I think it's quite cute. I also found some patterns for you guys though. So if you're wanting a free food pattern for this prompt, Lily Bean Stitches has this no-sew burger pattern, which I think is really cute. Obviously I haven't tried it, but you know, there's an option for you because you can't make this one because it was a freehand one. So there's an option. And Sarah's Stitches also has this cute little ice cream cone, which I have got my eye on making because I like the proportions of it. It looks like a good little size. So that could also be a fun pattern for you to try if you want to make something along those lines. Yeah. I'm definitely not going to be making more of this size cupcake. But I will be probably making some more little cupcakes as well. I really want to have like a little bakery range in my markets eventually. I'm not sure if it will be for this market, but definitely down the track. I know Zaddy Craft has a nice little cupcake pattern that like wicks up super quick, and I'm sure there must be some YouTube tutorials on them. So I definitely do want to make some more cupcakes for my market. So day 30's prompt was sunny and bright, and I think you guys, if you've watched the first part of this, you would have heard me talking about the stress balls by Unraveled and Unwound and how obsessed I was with them, and how I went and bought some of the patterns after making the coffee, the little coffee cup stress ball. So this is what I made. So this is another one of her patterns that I purchased, and it's a little star stress ball. So again, using the Patty's Plush yarn. So it sits in a little star. I just embroidered some eyes on it in the pattern. They had safety eyes in there, but I thought some little embroidered eyes would be nicer in a squishy stress ball. This worked up kind of quickly. It has a lot of parts to it, so it is a no-sew pattern. Obviously the ball works up really quickly, like no time to do that. I think the trickiest part is just making these little star parts. So they're surface crocheted on, but they're done in two parts. So you do a front part and a back part, and then when you've got all of those done, you then join them all around with a crochet all around to smooth them out and to join them. I think this will be a cute little Christmas pattern to have at the markets, like a little star at Christmas time could be really cute. So that is why I chose that pattern, and I really like it. I don't know if it's something that others would like as a market make. It's probably a little bit complicated to make it a super quick market make, but I'm still going to give it a go at my market. So I definitely recommend the patterns by Unraveled and Unwound. They are very easy to follow and very clear. I actually brought another Christmas pattern, and I'll put a picture of it up there, which is a reindeer. I'm going to make those for the market. They may be a quicker market make than this one was. So we're up to our last day in the challenge, and the last prompt was "Some bunny loves you." So this was the prompt to make a bunny, and I decided I was getting a bit amigurumied out by this stage. So I actually made this little wall hanging, and this is by Stitched by Faye, and it's a very simple little wall hanging using 2 colors, which is great for beginners. You make these ears and sew them on, and you know, it's a very small, quick, easy make, and I think it turns out quite cute. So I'm eager to see how this will go at markets. I'm going to be featuring this at my markets. Let me know in the comments if you've made any of these and sold them. I'm interested to know. This one is kind of part of a set. So it actually, when I bought it, I actually thought it was going to be bigger because I've made one of her patterns before. You may have seen it in a vlog, and it is a frog pattern. I might just show you guys. Hold on. So this was the frog pattern by Stitch by Faye that I made, and I actually thought this was the size that this one was going to be. I did fail to read that this was a mini wall hanging. So I think though it's quite cute. Like it could be quite cute together as a bigger and a smaller. And there's actually a third one in the pattern which I made as well. And it's a little mini ducky. So you could have like 2 little minis together, or you could get the set of 3. I think they're quite cute. Tapestries can be a lot of work. These aren't. They're quite quick and easy to do, and yeah, as I said before, really good beginner projects. So yeah, that is my Somebody Loves You project, and I would recommend this. I don't know if I would recommend it as a market make. I guess that's yet to be seen of how well it does at a market, but it's definitely quick enough that you could have this as a market make. I think it took me an hour. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the challenge. So in my last video, I picked out my favorite from the challenge, and I'm having real trouble picking out a favorite this time. I actually think it might be this little Duck in Frog Hat by Aki Plushies. I think that's who did it, Aki Plushies. This one might be my favorite. I do love how quickly this works up, and I do think it's super cute. So I think this might be my favorite. The one that I really wouldn't recommend, it's nothing wrong with it, but the one that I really wasn't super phased on and probably wouldn't recommend is the little Tulip. Like, I don't know. It just left me feeling quite flat. So yeah, that's probably the one that I wouldn't recommend out of all these patterns, even though there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, yeah, my preference. I don't think I would make that again. Probably the best market make though would be the little whale pattern from All From Jade. Definitely one that is a must-have for your markets, of how quick it is, how little materials is needed in it, and how that kind of being able to fit it into that smaller price range because of the saving on materials and time. Regardless on how you price your things, I think this would fall into one of those categories of, well, it's one of your cheapest items. So yeah, definitely this would probably be the out of this pattern batch, the most recommended for market makes. So what did I learn from doing this challenge? So as we neared to the end of this challenge, I was losing steam because not only was I making these patterns, we were posting them to Instagram, and I did try and like other people's posts and like comment and like interact with others who were doing the same challenge as me, because I think that's part of the fun of participating in a challenge, is also cheering other people on and interacting with them as well. It actually was so great because everybody had different patterns and different ideas for the prompts. So I actually saved a ton more patterns and got some great ideas from other people who also do markets and were prepping in this challenge as well. So things that they do that in their market. So not only did I have my ideas and the patterns that Novelty Hook connected, but also other patterns that people were making as well. So it really was a great like space to really focus on what you want to make at your markets and to have such a wide variety of ideas all thrown at you. So it was great for finding new ideas. I actually feel that the challenge has helped me a bit to prep some of the things. I'm actually surprised by what I've actually got already started now. Obviously some of those things I did make to go to my consignment space, but I still have a little bit now to start me on my market prepping, which is good. And I've narrowed down some ideas of what things will work for me, what things I like to make and what things I don't. So I've already done a lot of that groundwork now that I can just start producing, hopefully. So highly recommend. I'm really proud that I stuck with this challenge from day one to the end. I was really worried that I wouldn't. I've only done one I haven't done any challenges, but I have done one crochet along before, and that was like a weekly challenge, and unfortunately it was over a month, and on the 4th week I was sick and just didn't get the last thing made. So I haven't got a good track record, but I really was determined to do it this time. And I think because everybody else was posting as well, and yeah, it just kind of got me over the edge and over that finish line. But I did need a big rest afterwards, and I did get sick straight afterwards, so maybe I pushed myself a little bit too hard. But would I do it again? I really would. I'm really hoping that if Novelty Hooks does some future challenges that I have time and space to do them, because it was a really fun thing to do. And I loved getting through all those free patterns that I've been saving for such a long time. It is nice to finally get around to making them and trying them out. And I feel like there's such a good quality free patterns out there for everybody. That, you know, I think for me, sometimes I save them and I think, oh, I'll come back to them, and I never do. And now I have gotten back to them, and I realize that I need to make more of a priority of trying those out instead of always prioritizing my paid patterns. So thank you so much for joining me on this challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some ideas for your own markets. Let me know in the comments if you had a favorite from this part of the challenge, the days 17 to 31, or if there's anything that's a bestseller in your markets that you saw in these patterns. Yeah. Or if you've got some good recommendations. I really want to know about pickles in Australia, as I said before, so let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Happy crocheting!